In this video we are going to learn about authentication and authorization in ASP.NET, and while we will go through this authentication and authorization in ASP.NET, we will also learn login view, login status, login name and login controls of ASP.NET. First let us try to understand what is authentication and what is authorization. So authentication is to prove the genuineness of the user. It means that if user is claiming that he is ABC, whether he is really ABC or not, that can be found out using authentication. And authorization is if we have already found out that he is ABC, whether that ABC is allowed to access a particular resource or not, that is called authorization. So in order to do the authorization, a user must have authenticated first. So first authentication comes and then authorization comes into the picture. Now let us try to understand that how to implement Forms Authentication security in ASP.NET. In order to do that, we are going to create one project, and where we will have an include folder, and we will have a menu.ascx in the include folder where we will keep some kind of menus, sample menus, and then where we will have a secure folder, and under that secure folder we will have few files, and that secure folder must be accessed only if the user is authenticated, means user has logged into our application. Otherwise he should be redirected to the login page. And then on the root folder we will have couple of pages like default.aspx, as you can see here, and login page.aspx. Login page is nothing but a page that gives a user ability to enter their username and password and login. And we'll have a master page, and that is basically a template, as we have explained what is master page earlier. So first let us create menu.ascx, is nothing but user control. So let me first copy paste the code of menu.ascx from here, and I'm going ahead and creating one folder here called include, because my menu.ascx is in the include folder, and adding one user control here called menu.ascx, and then pasting my code here. So you can see that I have pasted my code here. Now let me format it down and let me tell you what is this. In this we have a HTML table, and in the first column of the first row we have kept a default link, means home page link of the application, and then we have a link that will basically target to the secure folder. And remember that secure folder should be accessible only to the person who has logged into our application. And then in the second column, that is right aligned, we have kept one login view control. Login view control basically helps us to show a different template for the person who has either logged in or not logged in. So here login view has two children template. One is anonymous template and one is logged in template. Anonymous template basically helps us to show the code or the content that will be displayed for the user who is not logged into the application. So in this case we are showing welcome guest and then login status. Login status will give you a link. In case user has not logged in, then it will give you a login link. Clicking on that login link will redirect to the login page, and if user has already logged in, then it will show you the logged out link. And clicking on the logout link, user will be able to log out from the application. So that is the purpose of this login status control. Now in the logged in template, what we are doing is that we are saying welcome, and then we are using the login name control. Login name control basically displays the name of the user who has logged in, means it displays the username of the user. And then we have again used the login status, so that if the user has logged in, he should be able to see the log out link also. So if he want to log out, he will simply click the logout link and he will be logging out from the application. So this is the menu.ascx, our user control, that we are going to use into the master page. And now let's go ahead and see what is next. So the next is we are going to create one default.aspx page under the secure folder. So let me first go ahead and create a secure folder. So here is my right click and another folder called secure, and here we are going to add a new page called default.aspx page. And but before I do that, I think we will have to first create a master page. So let me go ahead and create a master page. Please hold on. Yes, here is the master page. So let me go ahead and create the master page. Yes, so I am right clicking here, add new item, master page, and add. And then what I am doing is that I am just overriding the whole code of master page apart from the page directives, and then right click and format selection. Now here what we have done is that we have first registered the user control that we have created first. So menu.asx was the user control. I have registered here so that I will be able to use it on the page, and then I have used that user control here. And after that we have one horizontal line, and then we have content placeholder. Fine. Now what I am going to do is that I am going back and going to create my secure and default.aspx page. So let me go ahead and create it, and in this we have this much of code. So let me go ahead and create it and then copy and paste the code. So here is my secure and default.aspx page. Oops, we could not select the master page. So let me create one default.aspx page in the secure folder. I clicked on the select master page checkbox. Okay, and then I am overwriting the code here. Now in this what we have done is that we have nothing more apart from this paragraph, and this paragraph is basically writing this is secure page. Let me write some more thing, and it should be available only to the person who has logged in. Fine. So my master page is done and secure and default page is done. Now let's go ahead and add a web.config file into my secure folder. So let me go ahead and do that. So right click, add new item, and web.config file, and add, and I'm going to copy and paste my code from the ebook. So here what I have done, here we have written configuration and system.web is the default, and then we have written authorization, and then deny user is equal to question mark. Question mark means the anonymous user. Means what we are saying is that if any user who is anonymous user, then simply deny them, means do not let them come into the secure folder. Okay, it means that only logged in user will be able to come into the secure folder. Okay, and the next step is we are going to create one default.aspx page in the root folder. So let me go ahead and create a default.aspx page. In the root folder, and I'm going to copy paste my code. So from here to here, I'm going to explain each and every page what is the purpose and how it is working. First let me just create the project that is in the ebook, and then I will explain it. Then we have login page. So let me create a login page. Right click, add new item, and then let us name it as login page.aspx, and I have selected master page also here. So okay, and then copy and paste the code. Now let me format it out and tell you what is this. In this what we have done is that we have written one login control, and on this login control what we have done is that when the user will click the login button of this login control, then it will basically execute login1 underscore authenticate method. So let me go ahead and add that method as well here. So I'm going to do that. Let me first copy paste code behind. Actually I'm copying the entire thing here. So yes, Yes. Now let me correct the code. Okay. Yes. And looks like we are done. Yep. Okay. Now let me try to explain the code of login page.asp. So here first we have a underscore const_tr page label variable that is basically getting the connection string, database connection string from the web.config file. Let me show you that. This is the const_tr and that we are getting it here using configuration manager. Configuration manager comes from the system.configuration namespace. And then as I told you that when this login button of the login control will be clicked, then it will basically execute the login one underscore authenticate method. So that's what is here. In this we have first is authenticated variable that is false, and we are using the edu.net code to know whether the username and password entered by the user is correct or not. In this case, because our database table doesn't have username and password field, so I am using first name and last name as the user and password. So my first name will be username and last name will be password. So let me show you my database first. Here is my personal details table from the demo database, and here we have first name and last name. So I am assuming that my first name will be the username and last name will be the password. So if someone is using Joy as the username and Alien as a password, then I will treat them as a valid user. Okay, so that's what we are doing here, and then we are basically executing the execute scalar method of the SQL command, and we are checking for that object. If that object is not null, means the user is authenticated, means he has entered the correct username and password. And if it is, then what we are doing is that we are calling the forms authentication dot redirect from login page method, and this method basically accepts two things. First, it accepts as the username, and second, it accepts whether to create the persistent cookie or not. I'm going to tell you about that as well. So that's it. On the login page we do not have anything else. Now let's go ahead and see what more we have here. So I think we had master page, and that we have already created, and then ultimately we have a web.config file setting of the root folder. So let me do that here as well. So this is the code of my web.config file of the root folder. So here is my web.config file of the root folder, and here after compilation we are going to keep this. Now let me tell you what is in this. Here what we are doing is that we are instructing that my authentication mode is forms. There are three types of authentication. One is forms, another is passport, and then another is the Windows. Because here we are targeting with the forms authentication, because most of the web application or websites use forms authentication, because that is very flexible and easy to implement, and there is no dependency on any third party. So that's what we have mentioned here, mode equal to forms. And then once we have set mode equal to forms for the authentication, then we'll have to create one forms tag where I have written the default URL equal to default.asp. Means if a user has directly come to the home page of the application and he is logging in, then he should be redirected to the home page of the application. And if he is trying to access the secure page, then he should be redirected to the login page.asp, that is into the root. Or if he has clicked on the login link, then also he should be redirected to the login page.asp. And then sliding expiration equal to true. Sliding expiration basically helps us to expire the cookie based on the last accessed date and time by the application. So for example, the application has been accessed by the user at 4 PM and my timeout is 20. If sliding expiration will be false, then till 4:20 user session will work, means user will be able to go to the secure page and he will be able to perform the operations that authenticated user can perform. But as soon as it will be 4:21, then he will be logged out automatically by the system. in case we have a specified sliding expiration equal to true, then what happens is that last accessed date and time is treated as the first accessed date and time, and on top of that timeout minutes is added. So for example, if a user has accessed at 4 p.m. and timeout period is 20, so what will happen is that his cookie will expire at 4:20 p.m. But in case user has again hit the application as at 4:10 p.m., then the cookie expiration date and time will change to 4:30 p.m. because the last access date was at 4:10, so 20 has been added, so it became the 4:30 p.m. So that's the benefit of sliding expiration. The expiration date and time is basically slided. Okay, and let us see if we have any more code. I don't think we have any more code here. Fine. Now let me run this application first. So I'm going to right click the default.aspx first and click on view in browser. Okay, and as you can see here that first we are displayed with the home and secure page, and then welcome guest and login, because that's what is mentioned into the menu.c here, home and secure page. That's what is coming here, home and secure page, and then welcome guest and login status is because he is not logged in, so it is coming login link. Okay, now what we'll do is let us try to go to the secure page. So I'm clicking on the secure page.aspx, and that is trying to go to the where it is trying to go to the secure folder, secure and default.aspx, because under the secure folder we have mentioned that authorization deny user equal to question mark. It means that all the anonymous users should be not able to visit this particular folder pages, so that's why it is going to the login.aspx page. Now if I am on the home page and again clicking on the login, then also it will be redirected to the login page.aspx. Why? Because that's what is mentioned into the parent web.config file login URL under the forms authentication. So user will be redirected to the login page two times. Either he will be trying to access the secure section of the website, or he has clicked on the login link. Okay, fine. Now let me go ahead and click the login link first and then try to log in. So let me show you the username and password, Joy and Elan. So that's what I'm going to write it here. So Joe and Elan. Now when I will click, then notice that it is going to the home page. Why? Because I had clicked on the login page here, and now guest is converting into the username and login link is converting into the logout link. See here. Here you can see that in the menu.a6 page, now anonymous template will not render. Why? Because the user has already logged in, so the logged in template will render, and welcome and the login name, the username of the person who has logged in is coming as the login name, and then this login status is becoming as the log out now. Now when I will click on the logout link, then I will be able to log out. So before I do that, let me just click on the secure page. Now when I am into the secure page, you can see that I am able to browse the secure page as well, because I have already logged into the application. But as soon as I will log out, then and again try to browse this page, then you will notice that it is redirecting me to the login page again. Now let me go ahead and tell you about this method. When I have entered the correct username and password, then what happens is that redirect from login page method, it basically creates a cookie into the browser, and based on that cookie, ASP.NET application basically checks whether user has logged in or not. And if you have clicked on the log out, then that cookie is basically expired, so that if you will try to access the secure page next time, it will not allow you to access it. It will redirect you to the login page. Now let me try to enter some wrong password. I am writing ABCD whatever, and you can see that I am getting an error saying that your login attempt was unsuccessful, please try again. These messages I have not written into the login page.aspx. You can see here there is no message written to login control. These messages are automatically written into the login control, so that based on the attempt or based on the username and password, if it is not successful, then automatically those messages are displayed by the login control. So we do not need to worry about that. But in case you are writing username and password explicitly, then you will have to take care of yourself. So in this case, you will have to write in the else condition here. Else, here you will have to write into the label saying that your username and password is not correct.